how do we choose what to focus on when things are busy, when things are chaotic, when our minds seem to be filled with confusion as to, what should I be thinking about? I find myself unable to make any decisions. There's no consistency to my decision making. I seem to be making a lot of the wrong choices recently. I'm wasting a lot of time thinking about things that don't really matter. I'm finding myself getting distracted and consumed with things that have no direct impact on my life. Now, if any of that sounds familiar to you, the majority of the world goes through this, and I think it gets heightened when we're under pressure, when we find ourselves in pressure situations. Maybe the environment that we're working in or living in isn't the most ideal. And one of the things that's really helped me is a very simple thing that I learned from a friend of mine who is a cricket player, and one of their coaches told them that life is a very simple thing. You've got to choose between those things that are controllable and those things that are uncontrollable. And it was a hard-hitting lesson for me, like a big aha moment. And I started looking at my own life to understand why do I find myself thinking about these things? Like you read something in the newspaper or watch something on the news. Generally, if it's from the news, it's about the ugliness of humanity. So it's easy to get consumed with whatever's going on somewhere else. It's very easy to hide in our uncontrollable column, because it means that we can't focus on what we can control, because we've got all these uncontrollables to talk about. 95% of the population live in that uncontrollable column and obsess about it. And what I've learned is that it's almost a way of escapism. So if we can go and talk about the news, and we can go and talk about various other things that are going on that we have no capacity of controlling, we can find many people to talk about it too. Whereas if we're in the controllable column, there's a lot less people talking about it, there's a lot less people that live there, and there's a lot less people for us to go and talk to that can relate to us. And I found it a very, very useful and powerful technique of simply getting a piece of paper, splitting it down the middle, and writing controllables and uncontrollables. Above that, I write, what am I worried about? Or what am I thinking about? And what I've found, having done this for quite a long time and practiced it, is there's many things when I'm in a bad space, when my decisions are not consistent and I'm becoming indecisive and I'm procrastinating and things just aren't working as they should. It's because I'm spending too much time in my uncontrollable column. And the trick is to do this exercise every time you find your productivity dropping, or you find your energy levels dropping, or your motivation levels. And just come back to, am I in the uncontrollables or am I in the controllables column? And the trick is simply, when you're in the uncontrollable column, step back into the controllables, because we should never go and hide in the uncontrollables, because we can't control anything there. It makes no sense if you think about it like this. Rather, have that short list of things that you can control and get to work at controlling those as best as you possibly can. For me personally, that has saved me, I don't know how long, but it saved me a very, very long time. It saves me a lot of frustration. It helps me to not become distracted and go off on this little sort of mental vacation from time to time. So my advice to you is, have yourself that idea or that tool and use it. Are you in your controllables or your uncontrollables? When you're in the uncontrollables, change over. So thank you very much for watching. Stay in your controllable column, avoid the uncontrollable column, and every time you find yourself stressed, it's a very, very simple and effective and very useful tool. I wish you rather a lot of time in your controllable column. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.